Getting back on the topic of trade shows, as I mentioned in a previous vlog, I've done a lot of trade shows and talked to thousands and thousands of people with the same amount of questions. And as I try and boil it down, I'm asked, what are the top 3 questions that you get asked at all of these different shows? So I'll say there's the top 3 questions, but there's also the top 3 statements. And one of them, which always makes me laugh, which is quite humorous, is what's the cheapest bin you have here? Of which we really don't have an answer for that, and it really qualifies what they're thinking of doing. They're not taking it seriously. The other question is, I love what you're doing, we have your bins, but how do we increase the engagement with our staff? They just don't seem to understand. And the third question is, people who are just entering into the industry, they see our bins, and we could have a round opening, a square opening. They say, this will never work for us. And I go, why? Well, because you have a round and a square bin on your units here, and we require something else. What people don't realize is we can create multiple openings and colors, and once they see that, they go, oh, okay. But then I take it a step further, because there's always the 3 questions that they ask me. And when I see someone serious and there's an opportunity, there's 3 questions that I ask them. These are 3 really critical questions that gets them engaged. And the first thing I say to them is, what are you trying to do? And the answers could be anything. Set up a recycling program, engage the staff. The second question is, what isn't working? And that's where perhaps the engagement part, employees or workers are involved, custodial don't have a clue. And then the final question that I ask them to wrap it up is, what are you willing to do about it? And that's where the real conversation starts and the planning takes shape over the years, because most of the time it's driven around budget or commitments or timelines. So at the end of the day, out of thousands of questions that I've been asked, it really comes down to understanding if they're serious, they're beginners, if they really want to make a difference, or if they're just, the proverbial tire kicker. I'm Bruce Buchan, encouraging you to never waste a moment, especially when you're thinking about the early implementation stages of a recycling program and what you want to achieve.